Welcome to Unmuted. June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. At the Lioness in the Darkness, we believe that healing belongs to everyone. Men all around the world carry their own stories, struggles, grief, and trauma, and too often, they're expected to carry those burdens in silence. This month, we are helping break the stigma surrounding men's mental health, encouraging men to seek support, and bringing attention to the realities many men face. In honor of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month and Father's Day, I invited a special guest to join me for this episode of Unmuted. For this specific conversation, I wanted a man who could speak not only as a father and advocate, but as someone I have shared life with for 17 years. Today, I'm joined by my husband, Kevin. Kevin is a survivor of severe childhood abuse and a powerful advocate for healing, protection, and justice. As Vice President and Director of Safety and Operations for the Lioness in the Darkness, he brings both lived experience and strong leadership to the mission of empowering survivors of all backgrounds. A devoted father and passionate voice for men's mental health, Kevin plays a crucial role in supporting the young boys in our community, offering not just encouragement and guidance, but a path forward in a world that too often treats them like monsters before they've even had a chance to grow. His presence reminds them that they are not broken, not dangerous, and never beyond healing. With prior experience leading teen boys mentorship groups, Kevin understands how to meet youth where they are and guide them with strength and compassion. As Director of Safety and Operations, he helps ensure that the Lioness in the Darkness remains a safe, welcoming, and supportive space for families, volunteers, and community members at events and outreach programs. Kevin works closely with the Executive Director and Board of Directors to ensure all survivors are represented, regardless of age, gender, or history of abuse. Hello, Kevin. Let's begin with you telling us a bit about your own relationship with your father and the men you were raised around.
Hello. It started real rough in the very beginning. Grew up with a mother who was not always there. She may have been there physically, but mentally was not there. So that allowed somebody who she called my stepfather. He basically was there for a good long while, and it was never, in my eyes, was never like a father aspect. It was more of a power aspect, and it was very, I guess the best way to say it would be toxic in ways. And even when further on down the line, my mom ended up going somewhere and he went to prison, my later on, what you would call father figures weren't that good either. Anywhere from, sexual and physical abuse to mental and emotional turmoil just to get me to do what they wanted me to do.
Growing up, what messages did you receive about men showing emotions?
It was always told to me as a child that basically any emotion besides anger and rage and just pure hatred, I guess you could say, anything besides those was considered to be, in their terms, a pussy or, weak, essentially. Real men don't cry. There was no physical affection unless it was physical affection I didn't want. And so I would show, emotion on that end, and that would just always get me in more trouble.
Now, were those men okay with women showing emotion? Like, were emotions women things that men weren't allowed to partake in?
Pretty much, yeah. Basically, if my mom would cry, granted, he would still, or they would still make her feel like she was worthless,
Yeah.
But anything to do with any other emotion besides anger was definitely a woman's category.
Who taught you what it meant to be a man?
Funny enough, it wasn't a man at all. As said earlier, I didn't have very good role models. So the person who taught me what it was like to be a good man, funny enough, was my grandmother. She's an old Southern Texas woman, so it was very old school, but it was also at the same time like she understood as time was going on because she's from a different era, obviously. where like men, didn't show emotion, but she understood that as time went on, things were changing for our generation. So it was always like, it's okay to cry, even though you have been told for so long that it's not.
So did you feel kind of torn between the two sides then? If the men are telling you suck it up and you have the woman that means so much to you saying it's okay?
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. It's quite confusing for a young boy as to, like you said, have someone be like, hey, it's okay. Someone else be like, no, it's not. Especially when you're not at those people at the same time. So there's not someone there to defend you. Like if grandma was there with my father figures in my, previous time, she might have been able to be like, hey, get off his back. This is how it is nowadays. It's okay. Whereas like I had to be at them separately. So kept me,
So you were really only safe to have emotion if you were around your grandma.
pretty much. Yeah.
Almost
I mean,
secretive.
yeah, and I mean, earlier on, while my mom was still kind of like there, she would, she didn't have a problem with it. She was a very loving mom. I'll give her that. I can tell you, she loved me, but she loved drugs more. So I was able to show emotion with her and with my grandma. So basically, if I was around a woman in my family, it was safe to show my emotions. If I was around any of the men in my family, it was, well, you're a pussy, you're just a girl. And then, boys in our time, that was a big insult, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We weren't we took that harshly.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. When was the first time you remember realizing that men struggle mentally too?
Oh, it took me a really hot minute. I would say late into my 20s.
Wow.
Like I obviously knew there was issues and stuff like that, but I didn't know that, like, I don't know, I guess you could kind of say I felt alone for a long time until I found my way, and I, had that mentorship and that guidance that led me to mentorship and guidance to young boys like myself.
Yeah.
So until I had that, I guess I didn't really know that I wasn't the only one. So I'd say into my 20s for sure.
Why do you think so many men stay silent when they're hurting?
A lot of it, I would have to say, definitely ties back to the childhood trauma of, if you show any kind of emotion, you're weak, you're a sissy, you're whatever. Yeah, I would definitely tie it back to that. I mean, then there is always the pride aspect as well. Some men, I mean, even I'm guilty of it too. Uh, some men like to be like, I'm fine. It is what it is.
Yeah.
That was my favorite term for a long time. So a mix between pride and past issues.
Like you don't want to be the only one of your friends that's hurting
Right.
because the other side's just putting on such a great mask.
Right. When really everybody in that group is probably hurting at some way or another.
Yeah, just waiting for you to be the one to speak up.
Yeah. Once the first one busts into tears, then it's game on.
So what does depression look like in men? And obviously you can't speak for every man,
Right.
but what do you think people often miss?
People often miss the blank stares. People often miss, like I said, the I'm fine and putting on that smile. Especially in particular when I see a lot lately nowadays, now that we have all these different video sites, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts. I see a lot of these. The man's just sitting in the car for a couple minutes so he can breathe before he has to go and put on that mask.
Yeah.
And then the woman will come out, or one of their family members will come out, or somebody, and either belittle them or get on their case about it. And instead of just being like, hey, are you okay? I would say that's a huge missed one, is the sitting in the car for 10 to 15 minutes before you walk through that door.
So if somebody notices that in the man in their life, would you suggest they go out to meet them, leave them alone, and discuss it later, or don't even acknowledge it?
That's a tougher one to answer, because I would say it depends on the man. Because there's gonna be some men who be like, I just need give me 10 minutes. Acknowledge that he's there, maybe.
That you notice.
And then there's gonna be some men that are like, damn, I just need a hug.
Yeah.
So like if you go out and you're like, hey, are you okay? Is there anything I can do? Can I help you in any way? Like I said, it's gonna vary depending on the man and how his emotional maturity is. Of course, that's a huge aspect in it. But yeah,
Yeah, I still remember that TikTok that was going around of the man, and I can't remember the term of the wire, but we've all seen it. The He was so excited to talk about the wire.
the spool of
Yeah, the
wire.
spool of wire, and then his wife just completely diminished him. And
Yeah,
it was like even I could see that little boy inside of him. Like,
broke.
I was actually really excited to talk to you about that. I'm never going to talk to you about anything again.
Yeah, and I totally understand that too, because there's certain things as men, yeah, I mean even women too. There's it just depends on what you collect, what you have. I see it all the time. Of holy crap, I've had this, such as that spool of wire. I've had that spool of wire for 20 years. I remember where I was when I bought that spool of wire,
Yeah,
and to think, look at where I am now, and look at everything that this spool of wire has helped me complete.
yeah,
And then to just have someone be like, well, that's stupid.
yeah.
Like you said, that little boy just broke.
Where if he did that to her, the internet would tear him
Oh,
apart. How dare he?
Yeah, it'd be burn him down.
Yeah, yeah. So you kind of already answered this, but what do you wish more women understood about men's mental health?
Ooh, that's a tough one, because I've been seeing a lot lately, especially during the month of June. You see these women, sometimes men, just different people, just straight up say that our mental health does not matter. And that's disheartening, because I think back to where I've been, and just, I mean, even the past 2 years mentally where I've been, and to see these videos of, well, we don't care,
Yeah,
because they make it seem like it's all of you women and all pretty much everybody. They're just like, you really don't matter. So I wish that, it's hard to say that, because obviously we're the big strong men. There's a lot of us out there who are like me. I'm out there and I'm putting my life on the line on a daily basis. I see some horrendous things, and I just wish that they wouldn't put it as like, all of you don't care.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because there are some things, and I guess the easiest way to put it would be PTSD. And people go, well, you're a tow truck driver. What could you possibly have PTSD about? A lot of people don't realize what we see.
yeah,
And there's a lot of, like, you think about the police force and the fire department, EMS, and they see the same things that we see. Sometimes a little more,
yeah. You're on the scenes together.
we're on the scenes together.
Yeah,
Sometimes I'm the one pulling the car off of said person. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's crazy to me that the police, the firefighters, the EMS will get, hey, we know that was a rough scene. How about you take a couple days? We'll get you into a therapy class, or not class. That's the wrong word. Appointment. We'll
yeah,
get you a therapy appointment, and we'll pay for it, and we'll get you all these steps to help you
yeah,
process what you just saw. And the tow truck driver gets told it's time to go to the next one,
yeah,
and the next one could be just as bad, if not worse.
yeah. And that does speak to how there's some professions where, like you said, it's much more encouraged to get mental health support,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's other professions where, like you said, it's all right, on to the next one.
Yep.
But it's a man in both situation.
Yeah.
So why is one man more important than the other?
Right.
What advice would you give to a teenage boy who feels completely alone?
That's a good one. I would say find your person, not your people, your person. The one person, even if it is two, the one or two people that has got your back, and you lean on that person. Even if you reach out to a new person, you see somebody on a TikTok video, and you're like, wow, that guy seems kind of cool. Let me just kind of reach out. Let me send him a DM real quick. You find someone who you can deem trustworthy, because there's no people that I can say, like I can say all day long, reach out to me. I'll be the first person I'll have your back. No matter what, as long as it's within God's laws and man's laws,
Yeah.
I got your back. Yeah, and I mean, it's definitely hard for teenage boys nowadays, because God, it's such a toxic world.
Yeah.
It's so full of hate. And it's like with the whole, like I said, with God's laws and man's laws, that doesn't mean like I'm gonna, I'm not here to judge anybody. If you're a person, I'm gonna love you no matter what because you're a human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not, and that kind of goes with the, like I said, the super toxic world that, like I said, you're everybody is so full of these videos. Our whole lives, I would say, all the way from our kids' age all the way up to adults. Every app has these short videos that just take your attention. And it's a lot of hate and a lot of anger out there in the world, and not so much love. That's why I said if you can find that one person, those two people to lean on that you can trust, I think that would be your best bet.
What are some unhealthy patterns you witnessed growing up that you chose not to repeat? Yeah.
I mean, I did repeat for a while, but I learned pretty early on that it's not good to do that. But anyway, where to begin? Drugs, sex, alcohol, anger issues, just all of the not so great qualities of you that you could think of. Because like I said, I did have those drug years and alcohol years, and for a while before I found myself and before I was encouraged, I guess you could say. Before I had all that, I was very angry. I was a very, very angry guy. And like I said, that mentorship and that's truly what kind of brought it out of me. That and a lot of liking you. You fixed me in a way that I didn't know I needed fixed. And that's my why.
When did you first realize you had the power to parent differently?
It was so when our oldest was the only kid we had at the time. We were living in those apartments. I remember a night, I want to say, or a morning, can't remember now. I believe you were at work, and he would not stop crying. And I was getting so angry that I had thoughts. Not that I was going to hurt him, just like, shut up, like,
Yeah.
and I was getting so, so angry, and I was like, no, it's not, I'm not going to do anything. I know that I'm not going to hurt my child like I was hurt. And so kind of sitting there and praying and thinking to myself, because I didn't have the mentorship at the time. We didn't get that until later on, obviously, as you know. But I remember sitting there praying and then walked into the room and just held him. And I was like, I can do this. Like, because he was just a baby. I want to say he was maybe a little bit less than a year, maybe a year. So I was like, it doesn't have to be that way. I can change that. I can be different because I don't want to be like Russell.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like my abusers. And so that kind of having him really snapped it into perspective for me that not only could we be different, but that we need to be different. Because if we're not, then it's just going to raise two more hurt people who hurt people.
Yeah. And I think that speaks on something because there's many women, many mothers who would say that exact moment and comments would pour in of, you did the right thing, you put the baby back. I mean, we all hear it with postpartum depression. Just put the baby in the crib. You don't hear a whole lot from fathers until they've already done something they can't take back.
Yeah.
And obviously, we understand that on both mothers and fathers, sometimes they do it and they're malicious,
Yeah.
with anything, there's always the monsters.
Yeah.
But there's many more moms who get it's postpartum depression.
Right.
Well, with everything I've done with mental health, it's both mothers and fathers.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's talked about, even just from the woman's side of it. I don't think it's talked about fathers can get postpartum too. Obviously, hormone wise,
It's totally
they
different.
didn't have the baby, but
Yeah.
they still mentally they still are going through the same exhaustion, and sleep
Deprivation.
It'll affect anybody that's human. It doesn't matter if you're the mom or the dad.
Absolutely.
It will. And obviously men are encouraged to help the mom get up with the baby, help feed. So that means lack of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they don't, then they're torn apart because why didn't you stay up? Why didn't you let her sleep?
Yeah.
But some of those men are going to work in the morning.
Yeah.
So I think you're very right. So The question is, what does breaking a cycle actually look like in everyday life? You're going to answer, but when I saw this question just now, what came to mind was, so you were in a really bad headspace. It was when we had broken up and I got pregnant. You had, up until the point you found out I was pregnant, you had been smoking and you were not nice.
Yeah.
When you would go without cigarettes, I mean, you remember, but when you would, just for the listener, when you would go without cigarettes, you would be like, you weren't even recognizable.
Yeah.
You were already very hard to recognize during that time frame, but when you didn't have cigarettes, it was addict. You would do anything possible, say anything
to get that $5.
The second you like the night you found out that we were pregnant with our oldest, you immediately, nobody said anything to you. You said, I'm going to quit.
Mm-hmm.
And even when you would have a couple slip ups where you would take a puff every once in a while, you always said, I will do anything to make this child proud. You didn't even know it was a son at that time, but son or daughter, you said, this is my baby. We have even all the drama from before with the breakup. We're together now. We're not going to get broken up. We're not going to get divorced when we get married.
Yeah.
We are in this together and we are going to change our future.
Yeah.
Nobody had to tell you to do that. You just saw two pink lines and said, all right, I'm a father now.
Yeah.
Even with all the toxicity you were still fighting, even with the addiction to the cigarettes and everything, this is my baby. I'm going to be a better father than I got. I think that says a lot about how far you came after that, just from that moment.
Yeah.
Nobody had to pull your arm to do it.
Right.
If anything, you had people saying he's not going to be a good father, and they didn't care that you had just quit your biggest addiction at the time.
Yeah, and no, you're absolutely right. And in no way am I saying babies will fix your relationship problems. Will they fix your life problems? Will they fix your addictions? Will they fix anything of the sort? But I took it as, this is my chance.
Yeah.
Even if it's my one and only chance, it's my chance to have every single one of those people who were not supportive or that didn't believe I could do it. It was my one chance to be like, screw you, because look at me now.
Yeah.
So yes, the like I said, the babies don't fix your life. The babies don't fix your problems. But he saved my life.
What has been the hardest generational pattern to challenge?
Ooh. And by that, I would assume you mean addiction.
What's been a generational pattern in your past, your generational line, that was hardest for you to not repeat?
Well, as far as I know, I was the only generation that got molested. So I definitely never fought with keeping that one away from my kids. That was an immediate hell no. I would definitely say the addictions, the drugs, the alcohol, the sex, I would say all of that, because it wasn't just like, oh, I might have an alcohol problem or I might have a drug problem. It was 13 years old and I'm getting my first bump of cocaine. And my mom telling me, oh, when I was such and such age, someone gave me my first bump. So
almost like you're bonding.
Yeah. Trauma bonding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then shortly after, bottles of alcohol everywhere. And it was like, oh, why don't I just, sneak a sip? Well, sneaking a sip became sneaking a shot, became sneaking half the bottle, became the entire bottle, and, a couple lines and a couple pills. And so I would definitely say the addiction aspect was really hard to fight. Like even now, it sounds so dumb. I know it saying it, but I have a problem with breath mints because you understand just like I do the addictive brain. Water can become addicting.
Yeah.
So I was cleaning out my tow truck yesterday and found 12 breath mint containers.
So what is the part that you struggle with? The seeing that amount and thinking, oh, I can't control myself?
That, and once it's done, there's another one in my mouth. Once that's done, there's another one. There's another one. There's another one. and then being like, man, why don't I feel good?
Okay. All right. I see. So like you're causing harm to your body, even if it's minimal.
Yeah.
It still feels like, oh, I can't control myself.
Right. Because it's better than, and that's the trope. That's someone's like, well, it's better than cigarettes. It's better than energy drinks. It's better than, but is it?
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. It feels the same, even even if it's not as bad, it still feels like, do I stick with this addiction or try a different one and possibly get addicted to that too?
Because like, yeah, everybody's like, oh, well, there's worse things you could be addicted to than fresh breath.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not even like, yeah, I don't want to stink, so having fresh breath is great.
Yeah.
But it's because I put the vape down.
Yeah. I get that, because you could be addicted to Doritos, but if you eat 70 bags a day, it's not good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know the question is, the hardest generational pattern. From the outside, I think what is hard for you is, I don't know if comparison. So remember the other day when you were saying one of our children was talking about food and not liking specific foods.
Mm-hmm.
And you said something you say not a lot, but you've said it multiple times in the past, of almost like, if I had done what he did, if I said what he said,
yeah,
they would have beat my ass. And
yeah,
it's almost like you're saying it like you're not saying it to make him feel bad and put your trauma on him, but it's clear as like a fellow child of trauma that your brain is almost like,
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm more like, not that I'm trying to be like, oh, I'm going to beat your ass, because I definitely, not once have I ever laid my hands on my children.
yeah,
But it's more of like a, wow, because yes, yesterday at the restaurant, it was like I said, it was, it was eat what's in front of you or don't eat at all.
yeah,
And I mean, you understand that, you grew up in that same era.
yeah,
And I truly don't mean it any certain kind of way. It's just, like I said, it's just like, wow, like my
Yeah.
kids, not that my kids get to be picky, but they're picky and they know it's safe
yeah,
because they know what they like. They're healthy,
yeah,
growing boys. They're gonna eat what they want, and when we can sneak in a vegetable or two, we can
yeah.
success.
But I think that says a lot. I mean, I get it. Like you said, I get it. If I had a piece of pizza that had peppers, sensory wise, I wasn't trying to cause trouble. I physically could not eat it. I mean, I couldn't eat water chestnuts, and I would be forced to eat it to the point I'm sobbing and gagging.
Yeah.
And it's like, I look at my children and it's like, it's not like, give them a different piece. It's not that serious.
Right.
It'd be different if our children were the type that's like, I'm not eating that.
Right.
Make me a whole different. No, that's not it.
Yeah.
We have an extremely neurodivergent child and a
not so
likes what he like.
Yeah.
The youngest would eat pretty, like he eats a lot more.
Yeah.
But sometimes he wants chicken tenders. Other times he wants a bacon burger, but he doesn't want tomatoes all over it.
Which is fair.
He just wants a bacon burger.
Yeah.
But it, like you said, past people, it'd be like, you're gonna eat the tomatoes.
Yeah.
How hard is it just to take the tomato off or ask for it plain?
Yeah.
It's not worth making them scream and cry and throw up.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. We've got two very particular children, but like you said, they're not the snotty.
Yeah.
They're not throwing a fit and being like, make me something else.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, is it okay if you make me some pizza pockets tonight instead of what you're having?
Yeah. But then they eat it and say, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you making that.
Exactly.
But yeah, going back to that question, I think you haven't said it, but like, you're kind of going around it. If you don't want to be like the men who beat you with branches,
yeah,
you then leave open, if you're the dad, how do you not beat them? You have to teach yourself how to still be the father.
Right.
How to still be the disciplinarian, the man of the house.
Right.
But you have to teach yourself because you didn't have, like you said, you had a grandma who's a woman.
Yeah.
You didn't have a man who taught you, I love you so much, I'm going to make sure you grow up to be a good man. but I'm not going to inflict physical violence on you
Yeah.
to do it.
Right.
Because the physical violence isn't what taught you to be a good man.
No.
It was the woman saying, hey, you're allowed to feel.
Yeah.
What do you hope your sons learn from you that you didn't learn growing up?
It's okay to be vulnerable. You can still 110% be the strong guy. But again, this falls back on that if you have somebody you trust, you have somebody who has your best interest at heart, it's okay to let your walls down. And they're already such thoughtful kids. Like one he wants to help all the homeless he can.
Yeah.
But he knows there's a difference between the ones that need help and the ones that are just there because whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And he knows there's a difference. Like, he'll feed both of them. No problem. He'll give money to both of them. No problem. But he understands that there's a difference in today's world of those certain people who are just there because.
Yeah.
You know, not because they lost their family in a fire and they went nuts.
Yeah.
They lost it mentally, you know what I mean? And then the other one's like so big with animals, I could see him running like a rescue, you know what I mean? So it's just,
yeah,
they're learning the compassion. They see me when our older one goes with me on a tow and we see a mother and a daughter that's homeless sitting on the side of the road. His first instinct is, hey, Dad, do you have a couple bucks? He's like, I would like to help these people.
Yeah.
You know? So they're already learning the compassion for humans.
Yeah. Now they're learning, especially the youngest. We had a situation the other day where, you remember I had asked, hey, can I use some of your quarters for laundry?
Yeah.
I'll pay you back. And he had no issue because he knew I'd keep my promise and I'd pay him back.
Right.
He's already been paid back, even with interest because I'm me. But we went to the park that day and I found out he was offering to give some more of that quad fund to these two kids at the park. And so we had a conversation of why.
Uh-huh.
And it was almost like, because him letting me use the quarters felt so good to him, he thought, I'll just give it all away to these kids at the park. And the kids at the park, of course, were like, I don't believe you. You're not going to just give me your quad fund. And so we had a discussion of like, that's amazing that your heart is that giving. But let's also think about the fact of how your heart will feel when you no longer have a quad fund. I will pay you back.
Yeah.
They won't.
Yeah.
And he's like, that makes sense. It makes me feel so good to help people. Yeah, hold on to that. You know? But yeah, you've done an exceptional job at teaching them to communicate and advocate for themselves. Our oldest the other day at his doctor's, even she was saying, wow, you communicate really well about the way you're feeling, because he was talking about a situation from school.
Yeah.
And he just was telling her all about it, telling her how he felt about it,
right,
how it impacted him. And she's like, that's not usual for a boy your age. And he's like, well, why not? Like he just doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Why would I be silent? My parents encourage me to say whatever I need.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that, that felt good to just see like how good of a job you're doing, that it's impacting him in situations where he does need to advocate for himself.
Yeah.
I've seen it at school. I've seen it at the doctors. I've seen it, checking himself into the doctors. He's nervous, but he's doing it because he knows, well, when I grow up, I'm going to have to be a man who checks himself in. There's some men now who don't feel confident enough to check themselves in.
Yeah.
Okay. What is something your children will never have to recover from because you chose a different path? You've kind of already talked about that, but...
Yeah, and I mean, they'll never have to recover from watching their mom or dad overdose on the couch. They'll never have to recover from sexual trauma. They'll never have to recover from the pain, the hurt, the everything that comes with the physical abuse, the mental anguish of, I was just trying to be me. Why did that get me hit?
Yeah. Do you think that, this isn't on the list, but I just thought of it. Do you think, given what you've been through, especially I would say more the physical and the sexual abuse, once you had, I mean, you didn't have daughters, you had
Right.
sons.
Right.
And whatever you want to share about your abuse, that's for you to share. That's not for me. But between me and you and the listener, do you think that that helped you heal what you went through having specifically sons? Or do you think that makes it hurt worse because you see, especially our oldest, you see yourself in him,
Yeah.
and you know all the stuff that nobody else on earth knows?
I would say it's a healthy mixture of both. It's rewarding, but it's also heartbreaking. Because as you said, he is my twin.
Yeah.
We are identical in just about every way, but he has a little bit of your, I'm trying to think, emotional stability.
Yeah.
And that's not an insult. It's just he's me, but with your temperament.
Yeah.
And so it just like to look back and go, how could you do that to that? I mean, we even look like he looks like me,
Yeah.
you know? So how could you, all because mom wouldn't put out?
Yeah.
But it's also like God knew not to give me daughters
Yeah. Yeah.
because the world would burn.
Yeah. I feel like that would consume you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because even if those sons grew up and had daughters and you had granddaughters, it's still like you'd have to not let it consume you.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if a random little girl on the street, you'd burn the world down for her.
Absolutely.
So
anybody's kids.
Yeah, you feel deeply for the women in the world of any age. Now,
Absolutely.
do you think you would have, even before I asked this question, you would have been like that either way? You were like that the moment I met you.
Yeah.
But given everything with me and what you know about me and my alters, do you think that kind of is part of why you feel it so deeply, is because you've seen a child in a woman's body, so you see it. You see kind of how I see every man. I can see their inner child.
Yeah.
No matter if they're 50.
Yeah.
You've literally seen my inner child, so you see every woman's inner child.
I think that does pertain to it quite a bit, actually. And it honestly, it shows in my job because, being a tow truck driver, I get a lot of like, and when I say single, I don't necessarily mean single, but I get a single woman.
Yeah, a woman alone.
Alone by herself in my tow truck. And by the end of it, she's like, thank you so much. I felt so safe the entire time.
Yeah.
To me, that is like the most rewarding thing somebody could ever say to me.
Yeah.
Because, like, I know you get a lot of weirdos and you get a lot of creeps out there in the world. And I really try, not that I have to try, but I try hard to make everybody in my tow truck, in my world, in my space, feel safe and comfortable. And I mean, the amount of people, I've been doing this, God, was like going on like almost 10, 11 years now.
Yeah, it would have to be, yeah.
So I've been doing this job a long time, and it's one of those, I can see the inner children. I can see as weird as it sounds, I can see the aura.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can see a lot more than most people can. I can read people like a book.
Yeah.
And it both heartbreaking and amazing at the same time.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm the most proud of. I mean, I've even told my friends, given everything we do online, you've met my friends online, as we've built it. And I'd say about a year or so ago, I was telling a friend that every single one of my female friends and their daughters, if a situation came where you had to, like, they were in need and you had to go pick them up and, let's say, bring them to me to see me, I would trust you with every single one of my friends and their children.
Yeah.
Because you're one of the only people in my entire life, the only man that I could say that about. Because there's not a doubt of you being inappropriate.
Right.
Whether that be a situation of like molesting or a situation of you cheating.
Right.
Not a single worry.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of women can say that.
Yeah.
And whether they would, outwardly say, oh no, I trust him, but then inwardly, make sure you're talking to me the whole time. And many of my friends have said, I trust him. I would feel safe. And that's even more important because I could say, oh, yeah, you could trust him. My friends say, and they're on the internet.
Yeah.
And they can feel your presence of, no, I would trust Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin would make sure I got safely where I needed to go. So to hear that these strange women are going, I feel safe on a 3-hour drive with you alone in a truck. There's not anybody other than you that I would feel safe.
Yeah.
A man 3 hours in the dark. I mean, usually it's at night.
Usually, yeah.
It's not usually at 2 p.m. It's late at night driving to Portland.
Yeah. And
that's
even
tough.
to the point of like falling asleep in my tow truck.
Yeah. That's with everything.
By themselves.
Yeah, with everything with sex trafficking in Oregon. That says a lot about you as a presence.
And I've had people tell me that it's such an inviting energy.
Yeah.
And that like you remember a couple years ago when and we had the truck and trailer and we went all the way up to Riddle to that grocery outlet parking lot to pick up a car.
Yeah.
And remember, it was like the customer wasn't going to be there and I had no passengers, so I took you and the kids with me. And there was that lady that saw me loading up the car. I don't know if you remember this, but I still think of it to this day. She like runs up to her car and goes, "Wow, you are so scary looking."
Yeah.
She said, "If you were here to tow my car, I would just let you have it."
Yeah.
And then I opened my mouth and I started to speak. And she goes, "Wow, you're just a big old bear."
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it feels good.
Yeah.
There's those men out there that hunt that predator feeling.
Yeah.
And they get off on that. I chase the other feeling. I chase the hero.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had probably just this past week, I've had 6 different people tell me you are my hero. And I look at those people and go, how do you hunt like that? How do you do that to somebody?
Yeah.
When you could literally get everything you could ever desire in an emotion, in a feeling, by doing the exact opposite.
Yeah, and not causing pain.
Not causing pain, not causing trauma.
Lasting trauma. Yeah. What do you think many fathers are carrying that nobody talks about? So this is fathers particularly.
Ooh. Fathers are carrying the weight of the world. They're carrying those hidden emotions that we spoke of earlier. They're carrying the weight of bills. They're carrying the weight of making sure that their kids, be it they're a good father, a caring father, a father who's there.
Yeah.
They're carrying those emotions, the bills. They're carrying the weight of, my kids need a better life than I ever had. They're carrying, God, I hope I'm good enough for her. I hope I'm good enough for them. Because again, in this world that we see on the internet, it's, he's gone 12 hours a day, so let me go screw the neighbor. I was gone 18 hours the other day. Not once did I think, is she?
Yeah. You're like, did she eat?
Yeah. Did she eat? Did she drink water? But,
is she sleeping?
Yeah. But that's what we're carrying out there in this world is fear.
Yeah.
Of being like, are we enough?
Yeah.
Now, luckily, I haven't had to feel that in a long time. Because you're very good at letting me know I'm enough.
I try. I think single fathers are also carrying the, I just want to prove that I'm capable of taking care of my children.
Absolutely.
Too. That it's not, like, they're not trying to make the mom, the bad parent. They just want you to know they're a good parent too.
Absolutely. 100%.
They just want their kids.
Yeah. No, and I know one of our drivers actually right now is kind of going through that, and he had a rough past. Kind of like me. He grew up in the gangs and the drugs and alcohol and all that stuff. We're very, very similar, him and I, you know.
Yeah.
And he recently opened up to me. He's got a 10-year-old daughter by his ex-girlfriend who she will not let him see. And his fear is, what is she telling her? He's like, it's been 5 years. I've been so good. He's like, I understand I messed up so bad in the past. And it's 110% understandable for her to be cautious. But what is she telling her? What is she telling my daughter? And I was like, that's a valid fear, my friend.
Yeah.
Because he just wants to prove to her, hey, I'm, fully take responsibility. I messed up. And not, I know there is those cases where I messed up. I'll never do it again. And then they mess up and do it again.
Yeah.
And again, and again, and again, and again. So I understand there's those cases. But he's like, I've been so good for so long. He's like,
he just wants a chance.
He just wants a chance. He has not held her daughter since she was 4 months old.
Mm.
So 9 years and 6 months, he's like, damn. And granted, 7 of those years he was in prison.
Yeah.
But he was rehabilitated. He went through the steps. He found God.
Yeah.
And he's just like, please, like, I just want that opportunity. She just wants money.
Yeah.
So it definitely, the single fathers out there struggle. And I can't speak for them, because I'm not. But I've seen and heard and talked to and understood that there's a lot of heaviness on a single father.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's hard because for every good single father, there's another single father who it's like he's dangerous to the kids.
Yeah.
But the good single fathers can't prove, well, no, I'm a good single father because there's so many stories that it's like you said, social media.
Yeah.
Everybody's scrolling their For You pages hearing about
the bad ones.
Yeah, these fathers doing, and I get it on the other side because it was like, please keep me away from my father. I don't want him to have alone time with me. But then there's so many good single fathers where it's like they deserve to have the time, but the bad fathers are overshadowing it all.
Yeah.
And you can't catch a break.
Absolutely.
What would you want another father, single or otherwise, listening right now to know?
You're not alone. And I know that's cheesier than hell. I've seen this uproar, and it's incredible. There's a hashtag behind it. There's a movement behind it. It's dads supporting dads. D for D. Dads for dads. And it's, you are not alone. There is someone out there. No, not every story is going to be exactly the same. But there's going to be somebody out there that's going to experience kind of what you're experiencing. Let's say there's a fresh dad out there. And he's like, God, the kid won't shut up. Like, what do I do? Reach out.
So in that situation, if that new father had the ability to just call this other man and go, hey, I'm so sorry to bother you. I'm losing my shit right now.
Yeah.
And have that ability for the other guy not to go, oh my, get over it and hang up.
Yeah.
Him say, hey, okay, listen to me. I'm going to walk you through what to do and we're going to get through this.
Absolutely. It would make all the difference in the world. 110%.
If you could speak to yourself at age 12, what would you what would you tell him?
Ooh. Try not to cry. Hold on. Hold on just a little bit longer. You're almost there. Don't give up. Don't. You're going to come across a few moments in the upcoming years. It's going to put you through hell. Turn away. Don't do it. And don't give up.
How has the internet changed what it means to be a man? Now you can interpret that however you want.
Ooh. There's so many different angles to that. Because there's this whole, like, what is a man, what is a woman going on in the world. And then, like I said, there's this dads for dads, and it's like, we're men, we're helping each other out. Help the man. But then there's the woman's side. Fuck the man. They ain't nothing but paychecks and a good time. Air quotes.
Yeah.
And then there's the ones that are like, fuck all men. They're nothing but dogs. They're trash. They're worthless. They're useless. So it's hard to answer that with one specific term, phrase, sentence, because there's so many, like I said, there's so many angles on it nowadays.
Yeah. And a lot of times it seems like you can't win. There is somebody currently, I mean, I just saw his video the other day. He will make videos just sitting in his car and he's talking to women. And he's basically, much like you're talking, hey, you don't deserve what's happening to you. You don't deserve to be leered at as you're walking down the street. The comments will be filled with women going, finally, thank you for saying that. The men are in the comments saying, who are you trying to impress? What a wuss.
Yeah, their favorite comment is, she's not going to sleep with you, bro.
Yeah, keep going. Or even worse, what are you trying to impress my wife? You trying to get my wife? And this man's just sitting in his car going, hey, I just want you to know I'm not a bad guy. And his comments are filled with, thank you so much. And yeah, bad guys going, oh, you're a threat now. Meanwhile, he's just, and I just imagine him scrolling, he's already, mentally, because I get it. When I'm mentally not doing great, I like to make videos where I'm encouraging other people. So when I see this man, it feels the same. Yeah. He's probably internally just
struggling,
fighting demons. And he's just like, he saw a woman, either in his past or just on the bus that day.
Yeah.
And he's just like, hey, I just want you to know I'm not a bad guy. And then his comments are full, proving his point that you can't win.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just like there's that girl, the Canadian content creator, Roma.
Yeah.
So many people hate her. But us men see that and go, thank God.
Yeah, somebody's saying it.
Somebody's saying it. Like, we understand not all men, but all men, kind of, we understand that.
Yeah.
But us good ones out here hate that with everything that we are.
Yeah. So you're saying you understand why us women are scared of everybody.
Yeah.
It hurts your heart because you would never hurt anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think that would mean a lot, because it's like we're not trying to make all of you guys into one lump. But it's like, I know you're a good guy, but like you just said, that woman, you're scary looking to her.
Yeah. And I'll fully admit that. I'm covered in tattoos, and I'm big, and I'm got a big old biker beard, and I look like I would be a threat.
Yeah.
I totally understand that, but I look like that for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah. I just grew up seeing you as, like, the men that I was growing up around, the one you would, they said he was good on paper.
Mm-hmm.
He was a monster. But then one of his closest friends looked just like you. But he was probably like 6'1", 6'2". Like, he was a big build, but he was super tall.
Yeah.
I would run into his arms. Another man looked like a biker dude, but he protected me from the guy that looked good on paper.
Yeah.
So I was just raised with, the scary guys are usually the nicer ones.
Yeah.
It's the ones that look nice and present as, I'm a godly, I'm the church going nerdy guy. And that's not to say that the church going nerdy guys are all monsters.
Right.
Just in my case, the nice guy ended up being the worst one behind closed doors.
Yeah.
He was just nice to the people in public because they were the ones he wanted to impress.
Yeah, absolutely.
The biker guys were the ones watching out for the little kids in the supermarket.
Yeah.
But maybe it's the same as you're saying. Maybe they look scary because they had to be scary to survive.
Yeah.
So they know what it's like to be scared.
Yeah, because I look like this, and nobody wants this coming at them.
Yeah.
I'm built like a brick house.
Yeah.
And it's, like you said, I had to look like this to survive.
Yeah.
Yes, I love the tattoos, and I like the way my face looks with a beard, but that's all part of, when I say costume, I don't mean it as it's something that comes off. It's not something that I put away, because I am always this person.
Yeah.
I guess you'd say it's my shield more than my costume. It's, someone looks at me and goes, oh, dude, don't want to mess with you.
Yeah. I think you're right. because I literally watched you, because I've been blessed to be with you for so long, I watched you put it on. Because, we remember how he used to treat you and how he would put his hands on you.
Yeah.
And
you witnessed it.
I can still remember the day that you finally scared him. You physically got big enough. And that was just because you just happened to be going through puberty.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it before. You were too small.
Right.
Whether that was, toddler up. But just one day you realized you were physically strong enough to say, you will not do that again. And it worked because he never put his hands on you again.
Yeah.
And that only happened because you just survived it long enough. It wasn't because any big thing changed in his heart.
Yeah.
You just survived long enough that you physically got big enough to go, not anymore.
Never again.
Yeah. And everything changed. And then you shortly after that, you moved out.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you would have had that confidence to move out if the day before he was still putting his hands on you.
Right.
Because the day you chose to leave and you told them, hey, I'm leaving, how could that have looked if he still felt confident enough to beat you?
Yeah.
What online pressures do you think boys face today that previous generations didn't?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's probably a lot, I would assume.
It's a lot. Kids nowadays are having sex younger and younger. And like our generation, it was already young. It was already too young.
Yeah.
But we experienced it with our oldest. They just watched animated videos on YouTube, but these predators, these attackers, get the parents because they put in these, cutesy cartoon, animated stick figures, whatever the case may be, in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the video, and the parents like, oh, this is cool. And then they go about their business. They do the dishes, they do laundry, they do whatever the case may be, and then bam, it's porn. It's peeing on each other. Like there's so much weird shit now.
Yeah.
And like, granted, we had weird shit. We grew up at the very peak of the internet. Right as it touched ground, we were on the internet in AOL chat rooms.
Yeah. Yeah, that's our whole thing with Loudly Grown Ups.
Exactly.
What we saw.
Exactly. So we had trauma from that. Yeah. We had issues with that back then. But kids nowadays, it's shoved so far in their face that it's like you have to be on their case with their electronics.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yes, there's those parents out there that are like, my kids don't touch electronics. So that's all fine and dandy, but that doesn't work for everybody.
But they have Chromebooks at school.
Exactly. And
so,
you witnessed firsthand those Chromebooks at school. They were finding shortcuts around the blocks that the teachers put on there.
Yeah.
To get to TikTok, to get to YouTube, whatever, Well, that's where they get you.
Yeah.
That's where they nail you.
Yeah. They see you put your guard down for a second, and then, And I don't think boys, when you were a kid, had to worry about somebody making a AI video of you doing something you didn't.
No.
If you had a video of you hurting a girl, it was because you hurt a girl.
Yeah.
Now, like you were saying with the good men, the good boys who would never, like, they would defend their friend.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now there's AI videos of you robbing a liquor store and raping somebody.
Yeah.
You're 11. You didn't
do any of that.
I could see, like, with everything given the internet and the way men are talked about.
Yeah.
That would absolutely destroy a little boy's psyche. To either see a video of himself, see a video of his father, see a video of his best friend.
Yeah.
And the other person's going, I swear to you, dude, I didn't do that. And you have to now be oh, you're going to protect him? But you're like, no, I know for a fact he didn't do that. Oh, so you protect monsters. You protect the
And that's the problem, is AI is getting so good.
Yeah.
Because we keep training it to get good.
Yeah.
That it's becoming more convincing.
Yeah.
Granted, there's those stupid videos on there that you're like, okay, duh, that's AI. But there's some that you're like, no way.
Yeah.
So it's definitely an issue.
And it's hitting quick. There was just there was somebody talking about how they're taking, like, my video that I haven't seen it on my own, but she was saying she was filming something just like I film all the time. And when she went to edit it, it had a "would you like to AI extend?"
Yeah.
And she said she clicked it, and she said it made it look like her for even a couple seconds, almost like Uncanny Valley. She's like, it made me do this weird motion, but she was like,
Yeah.
I don't need you to extend my video.
Right.
But in a split second, it took her image, her outfit, her mannerisms,
Yeah.
and extended it.
Yeah.
She didn't even that's not some random funny video. It's her video, and it scared her.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely fair. Yeah. It's and I mean it's so simple now. There's no like just get another app and it can do it for you. No, it's literally in all of your apps. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
It's one click away. Hey, while you continue to post this video, we're going to create something else in the background and it'll be in your drafts when you're ready.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's creepy.
Yeah. What warning signs should parents watch for when boys become isolated online?
Ooh. I mean, we did the tape the spoon to the mirror or to the screen. You know, the sneaky. The sneaky is what you need to look out for.
What's that? I didn't hear that.
So you have a super reflective spoon. You know, back when we were younger, we had those ones that were like pure, not pure silver because pure silver would rot, but like they were shiny.
Okay.
So you tape it with the round side out to the side of your monitor, and it'd be a mirror.
Oh. Like so you could see behind you?
Yeah.
Oh.
And if you were lucky enough to have one of those door handles that was elongated instead of just a ball,
yeah,
you could see the door handle move, and boom, you're out of the webpage.
Oh.
Now, granted, kids, I don't think they're doing that nowadays, but that's that was back when we were kids. So
wow.
But just the sneakiness, you know what I mean? The look out for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, know your kid enough to know when they're acting
different.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that could be said for online and offline. Like,
yeah,
if your kid starts acting weird,
absolutely,
pay attention. How can fathers help their children build a healthier relationship with the internet or technology in general?
Honestly, just safeguard them, just show them the way instead of just being like, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah.
Show them what's acceptable. Show them what to look out for. Because as well as I do, doesn't matter what website you're on, you're one click away from porn.
Yeah.
Literally, like, it's not even hidden anymore. It's so... And a lot of people are like, oh, it's infringing on our rights that all these states are being like, we're banning pornography and this and that. And it's like, I'm kind of okay with it. Or at least those states that are doing like ID verification.
Yeah.
For it, because it keeps it away from our kids.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's so in their face now. So like I said, if you sit down with them, like when our oldest had his computer, we sat down and we said, these are the ground rules. Yeah. And he was good with that,
And we, since, as we've already said in this audio, we're big proponents of communication.
Yeah.
So remember when he had that issue where he truly, to the listener, he didn't do it, like he didn't look for it. He clicked a link on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it took him to a pornography website. And he immediately came out and said, Mom and Dad, what do? I don't know what I did to get here. I think he said he was trying to watch a movie, right?
Yeah.
It was one of those, he was on YouTube and he wanted to watch a movie and he thought
it had one of those stupid little blue links in the bottom of the description. And he clicked on that link.
Yeah.
Because it was like, watch the free movie here.
Yeah. And even back then, I remember we had a discussion as his parents, and we were thinking neither one of us could have gone out and told our families, hey, I accidentally came across pornography, because they would have blamed us, screamed at us, shamed us, and we knew him well enough to know he wasn't trying to find this. He was trying to watch a movie, and even when he told us the movie, it was like
I think it was SpongeBob or something.
Yeah, it was like a kid movie. He was just innocently, and he just didn't know that some links don't take you where. So he learned the lesson, but he learned it safely because he immediately came and got us. He didn't watch the movie. He didn't watch the video. He came and got us, and we then were able to explain, hey, this is, but I remember even after that, we had to set a lot of boundaries and limitations with the computer, because all of a sudden it was like it gave him info he had never had. So like, even doing the right thing, it ruined a piece of his innocence.
Yeah.
Because he didn't watch that, but then it made him curious. Well, wait, why is this even on computers? Why is this even on devices?
Yeah.
So even doing the right thing, just it being put in front of him, ruined a piece of his innocence.
Made him question.
Which is sad, because it's like, it proves what we were trying to say as the grown-ups of, we didn't ask for any of what we saw.
Yeah.
But I mean, the listener doesn't know this, but that Facebook and, pornography as you're scrolling is a big thing that you speak about, because you're not somebody that is looking at it behind my back, and it stresses you out because you're like, I don't want to get caught with this. I don't want, and then there's been some videos where you're like, absolutely not. This is not on my, like, I don't want this. And, I remember one time you reported it because you said this shouldn't be on any, like, this needs to be
It was kids.
Yeah, this should be looked into. And you got a report back saying, sorry, we haven't found anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
And it infuriated you because you're like, if I'm not supposed to report this and I don't want this on here, what am I supposed to do then?
Yeah.
If this is okay, But, social media reporting just pisses you off to begin with, because you watch me get reported all the time. Meanwhile, on your For You page, you're scrolling, and it's like, you've seen so many of those where it's like the girl flashing the mirror.
Yeah.
And you're like, what do you mean my wife isn't allowed to post talking about trauma, but this woman's allowed to show that in the mirror, and it has 1 million views?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what conversations should parents be having? You've kind of already said, communication, what's possible.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer in just open honesty. Like, it's, hey, there's bad stuff on the internet. Like, we'll show you what to avoid, Don't type in this and this, and
yeah. Don't type in teddy bear into Google.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because back in our day, gore.com was a big issue.
Yeah.
And I guess there's more, and there's multiple websites now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they're saying Reddit is this generation's 4chan, which, like, that's disheartening to hear.
And that was the thing, like, I never even got into 4chan, so I never knew what that was.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a chat website.
Yeah. Yeah, no, unfortunately, I was very much on it, and I would agree, like, Reddit's the same. If you know what hashtag to type in, you can get yourself...
I mean, you can just look up whatever word, and it's...
Yeah.
Right there, like I said, it's more the pornography. It's more death, dismemberment, just so much shit right up in your face, and it's just... How are these kids supposed to develop any kind of, like, normalcy?
Yeah.
When that is always in their face.
Any healthy relationship with each other, themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sex.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest thing is, like, I remember having that discussion with our oldest and being like, what you see in those videos is nothing like real life.
Yeah.
All of that is just a big show. It just makes people compare themselves to these amazingly looking people.
Yeah, both men and women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And being like, well, I don't have that. Well, I got a little bit of a gut.
Yeah.
And just being like, oh, like, I hate myself now.
And I'm sure it's hard for them because it teaches them that a woman's gonna, like, when you have sex with her, she's gonna act a certain way. And then when she doesn't act that certain way, because why would she? She's
normal.
She's normal. She's not performing for the camera and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Then he goes, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And then he reacts to her, and then she's shamed because she's like, what did I let you down? Did I not do it good enough?
Yeah.
And now you've just got two people who are hurting, and neither one of them did anything wrong.
Right.
They've just tried to connect with each other.
Yeah.
If you could leave one message for young men growing up online today, what would it be?
Honestly, find God. Even if it's not my God, even if it's not Jesus, if it's whatever God you deem for your belief, lean on that. Stay away from all that toxic bullshit. Stay away from porn. Stay away from death and dismemberment. And I'm not necessarily saying lean into a religion. I'm not a religious person.
Yeah.
But I believe in Jesus Christ. And I believe in God. And so that is who I lean on. And I lean on the word. And, I may get hate for that from the listener.
But it's also one of those things you didn't always feel like.
No.
A couple years ago, you would have had a much different answer to that.
Yeah.
You kind of lost it and then got it back.
I did. And it was funny enough, there's that rock band called Godsmack that we all pretty big fans of back in our time.
Yeah.
And I think back to when I heard why they're called that. Because they had a moment that they got fixed. They got they got returned to the normal what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But in an aggressive way. They called that a Godsmack.
Okay.
Because it's basically like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I did. I had a huge moment where, and I don't follow, but I still believe there may have been the Nordic gods in their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not my God. And that's my point with even if it's not Jesus, even if it's not,
yeah,
whatever
your joy, higher power, best version of yourself.
Exactly.
Encouragement.
Yes.
Your point is just focus on the good.
Yes.
Not all the bad that's around.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think even if you're sitting there listening going, well, I don't believe in anything, there has to be some sort of good.
Yeah.
Even if it's, like I've stated, even if it's you sitting there with a nice, whatever your favorite drink is, watching the sunset.
Yeah.
That is still spiritual. That is still
absolutely
healing to you. A lot more than scrolling your For You page and judging people and hating people and hating yourself and hurting yourself and going to bed with bloodshot eyes going, I'm not even worth waking up tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Absolutely.
Do whatever you have to do. Believe in whatever you have to believe.
Yeah.
To wake up the next day and feel good about the fact you did.
Yeah.
What is something you've never said out loud as a man, but wish more people understood?
I hurt too.
And that's good. Not that you hurt, but that you could say that verbally. Even given everything you just said about, I've come so far and I love people and...
Yeah, we hurt.
Yeah, you still have bad days.
Yes.
And I can vouch for that. 95% of your days are good, but you're still human.
Yeah.
And you're still working your butt off and exhausted, and you work hard for your family. You also don't get as much time with your family that you want. And when you are spending time with your family, you're thinking about, how can I do more for my family? How can I give them more? How can I love them better?
Yeah.
And you don't know how to rely. You're just as bad as me, just a different version.
Yeah.
You don't know how to just sit and relax. But I don't blame you, because I remember you 6 a.m. if you even got to sleep in that much.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom on your trailer door. You better be up by that third boom.
Yeah.
Or you're going to get in trouble and your whole day's ruined.
Yep.
You're not allowed to go anywhere with me back then, even if it's just a movie.
Yeah.
Because you got stuff to do. You got a job to do. You got chores to do.
And yeah, but everybody asks, and they're like, when did you start working?
Yeah.
I've had a full-time job since I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
Maybe honestly, even younger.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, that's not possible. No, it is. When my uncle knocked, I answered.
Yeah.
And as you said, trailer, a lot of people don't know, but I had a little 15-foot travel trailer in the backyard because that was what I was deemed worthy of.
That didn't even have plumbing. You were peeing.
No plumbing, water, no nothing. Yeah. And like you said, if I didn't answer, I got my ass beat.
Yeah.
And it, gradually went from slaps and the nape of the neck, right where the hair meets your neck on the bottom.
Yeah.
He liked to grab that
in front of me.
Yeah, he liked to grab that.
Yeah.
And rip it hard. So yeah, no, it's yeah.
Yeah. So once you escaped him, you just kept going, because by that point you gotta he had a lot of issues with keeping jobs, but you'd get a new one.
Yeah.
And just be right back in it. And
it wasn't, granted it was lack of parenting, because I didn't know, but a lot of it was also fuck, I hate this job. The people there hate me. I don't want to do this job.
Yeah.
And then, la-di-da-di-da, years later, I stumble into towing and go, look at that. I found what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. I think you also never got a chance to, like, you never got that, okay, I'm a kid, now I'm an adult, but I don't have responsibility. You had responsibility as a kid. Then you had a kid, and then, like we said earlier, you're like, well, I'm not going to let my kid down.
Yeah.
So I think that little bit of time where, we really struggled as a couple and individually.
Yeah.
Even, the breakup of you leaving, you thinking about leaving, even that was like, well, no, maybe this new state, maybe that'll be then everything's going to work out.
Yeah.
You just were like you were doing it in a way that wasn't great, looking back.
Right.
Even that.
Yeah, yeah.
But in the moment, you weren't like, you know what? I'm going to hurt the woman that I love the most. It was, please, like, even then you were begging, please come with me. I just can't be here. But you can even now say, I didn't like being there.
Vegas was a horrible, horrible place for me.
Yeah.
It felt like it was just eating me alive.
Yeah.
And then when we visited Oregon, like the landlord said the other day, like, every time she comes up here from California, it feels like a soul reset.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to describe that before. And it's still hard to describe now. Like, everybody, they don't really call me crazy, but they look at me funny when I say I felt something pulling me here.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what I was doing, but knew I was doing something.
Yeah.
I just wanted better for us. And Oregon called that because, like I said, in Nevada, I was like, if it comes down to it, and this is where my headspace was back then, I remember telling you, it's either Oregon or I'm going to step in front of a semi-truck.
Yeah.
Doing my job. And even if it wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
My brain wasn't there. So what if I just like, oops,
Yeah.
I remember being like, Vegas is going to be my end. And with all the trauma surrounding it, it's such a dark city. Like,
yeah,
I felt no life there. And I mean, we went to church and we had that, and that was amazing. I loved that. I loved mentoring those boys,
Yeah.
I'm so proud of them. They've come so far. I still like look back and, I check in on them every once in a while, and I'm incredibly proud. Like, I would like to say I turned their life around, but I didn't. They did. They just listened to my bullshit.
Yeah. But I think that shows kind of, you see it even more now because you're older than you were back then.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that those teenage boys probably they only see it through their eyes, their perspective. They had no idea you were sitting there falling apart internally.
Yeah.
And your only joy was getting to see them. I get that. I mean, if the listener has listened to the Miss Honey audio, I literally was saying that, but from the female perspective of that student had no idea that I was, so invested in her.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, fighting my own internal battles. You had that even then. You're staying alive for your family and these boys, and they have no idea. They think they're the burden.
Yeah.
And they're not.
No, absolutely not. They were incredible kids that had not so incredible circumstances. I mean, it was literally a 12-step program downstairs for the parents.
Yeah.
The parents downstairs are on drugs and abusive and fighting and alcoholism and this and that and the other, which we were there a year prior to doing that mentorship program. We were in that program.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, for me, it was I have anger problems, I have a sex addiction, I have this and that and the fourth,
Yeah. But we didn't get to be in it as a kid because our grown-ups wouldn't have taken us.
Never.
They wouldn't have been at 12-step for us to be there.
Never.
Yeah.
So I remember that was just such an incredible time.
Yeah.
Watching those boys change.
What does being emotionally safe actually feel like?
That's a tough one because when you, and I'm sure you can understand this just as much as anybody else, when do you feel emotionally safe?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's such a hard to describe. There's times, obviously, like right now, I feel like I'm fully capable of being open and honest and emotionally feel safe and secure. But like, even in my job, there's times where I'm like, what can I say? You know,
Yeah.
what do I say? There's times with the boss man. Like, how do I read this situation so I don't upset him?
Yeah.
You know, because he's, you know him. I love the dude, but he's very set in his ways.
Yeah.
So it's like emotionally, I don't always feel the safest.
Yeah.
Because it's like, ooh.
Because he's lived a life of his own.
Yeah.
And seen things on his own.
Yeah.
He's further down the road, you know.
Right. But he's been nothing but loving to us.
Yeah.
You know, even when there was that problem, the problem was fixed.
Yeah, and I think it is, you know, it's hard for you because you didn't have that growing up. You had the
total opposite.
The total opposite. So you see, I mean, I get that because I see it from my perspective. You know, everyone's a threat because I don't know who is going to judge me.
Right.
Because I see the judgment through everybody else's.
Yeah.
Do you need to go to the bathroom?
Yes.
Okay, go. What was a moment when someone showed you compassion that changed your life?
Ooh. So, in said program, when we were getting our 12-step through, you know, it was like, hey, I'm pretty messed up. And I remember, even though we don't talk now because of the situation that you're aware of, Michael.
Yeah.
It was like, it's okay to not be okay, but you don't have to stay that way. And that really resonated with me in a way that kind of just made me go, I didn't know it was okay to not be okay because I'm screwed up. And I remember writing out my testimony and them wanting me to share it, not only with the adults, but with the high school students, and just the love and the compassion of, hey, we're so happy that you're here.
Yeah.
You know, the compassion, the love that they showed me. And then, I mean, even before that, you quite literally saved my life, calling me on my shit.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I really like you, but I'm going to need you to knock it off.
Yeah.
I would say that's the most compassionate thing anybody could ever do. To call you on your shit and tell you that I love you and I want to be with you, but I need you to understand that things are going to be different. That night you were out with your uncle. I think your uncle even told you to break up with me.
Yeah. Because my uncle saw everything that his sister had gone through.
Yeah.
And refused to watch me go through that. So when you acted the way you did that night, he went, absolutely not. But
fair.
Looking back, he was the only man who stood up and went, you will not treat her that way.
Yeah. And I have a lot of respect for him, and I wish he were alive to see who I am.
Yeah.
And I know he does. He sees who I am. But kind of almost like I want that validation.
Yeah, you want him to say it.
Yeah.
I get that, because I feel the same way. Man, I want you and him to be able to sit next to each other and just...
Because I did have a lot of respect for him, even though I was an ass.
Yeah.
But that was the drugs.
Yeah.
That was my addiction.
Yeah. And at that time, you had everybody telling you weren't good for me. So he was just he wasn't even somebody that was around a lot. Given my own family situation, he was the outcast to my family.
Yeah.
He showed, he was the one being successful, which made him a threat. Then he shows up, sees me, who's a little girl that he wished was his daughter.
Right.
And then he sees you, and you're acting the way you were. You're not wrong to think, who's this strange dude telling me anything?
Yeah. But like I said,
yeah,
I had nothing but respect for him. Obviously, I love our troops, but then I was like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah. Yeah, and I've mentioned that before in another audio, that the situation that happened with the three of us, none of the three were wrong. We were seeing it from three different perspectives, while all sides are being told in our ear something that's not true about the other two, and it just combusted into a horrible situation, and we learned the lesson of sometimes people die before you can make up.
Yeah.
What does strength mean to you now that you're older?
Strength now means community, means numbers. You know how I am with people. You see exactly how many friends do I have, like actual friends.
Not many.
I would say Shane.
Yeah.
I would say me and Zach are getting pretty close.
Yeah.
He's been real cool. I keep my circle tight because you've witnessed how my niceness has gotten me screwed over.
Yeah, you've had a lot of issues with other men when the other man treats his wife or girlfriend or mother, sister, grandma, the
Brother,
woman in his life. Yeah,
anybody.
men too, but yeah, you've had a lot of friendships end because that one friendship ended because he threw his wife out while his daughter was in our vehicle.
Yeah.
She wouldn't get in the car with us, but you followed her because you said, I don't care who her husband is. I'm not letting this woman walk on the side of the road for her to get kidnapped or harmed in some way.
Because it was like 30-something miles.
Yeah, and he didn't like that. And then they ended up together in the end anyway.
Yeah.
But your friendship ended because you said, I will not stand back and watch you treat her like that. Another friendship ended because he physically harmed his girl, and you said, you can't physically harm her under my watch.
Yeah.
And that friendship ended. So you've had a lot of situations where you lost a friend that at the time meant a lot to you.
Yeah.
Simply because you refused to be the man that stays silent while she's looking you in the eye going, please don't let him hit me again.
Yeah.
How are you not supposed to stand up given everything you just said that you are?
Yeah. And I don't care how big you are. I don't care how strong you think you are. I'm not scared.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have my faith.
Yeah.
If I go to meet God today, that's okay.
Yeah.
But I will stand tooth and nail for anybody's kid, anybody's brother, sister, wife, husband.
Yeah. Because you know what it's like to be physically unable.
Yeah.
You know what it's like to be the little boy who's like, I just want to keep my mom safe and I physically can't.
Yeah.
Because that dude's way bigger than me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or that dude's going to turn and take all the, I know stories you told me where it was like you would have taken it for your mom. And you did in some ways.
Yeah. Simply
so she didn't have to.
Yeah.
So you've been taking care of people since you were small. Yeah. So of course now that you physically can hold your own and you can fight another man, why wouldn't you, you know?
Yeah. I don't let anybody pick on the weaker man, woman, child.
Yeah. What are you hoping your sons inherit from you besides your last name?
Kind of goes back to that other one that was pretty similar. Love for humanity, standing up for people. I want them to inherit just being an all-around good person. There's again, there's so much negativity in the world, so much hate and anger. And I'm not saying it's not okay to be angry. You can be angry.
Yeah.
As long as you aim it at the right thing.
Yeah. Right.
Forgot what I was saying.
What are you hoping your sons inherit?
Oh yeah. Just like I said, just that love.
Yeah. How can partners help the men in their life, and what does support actually look like? Now, I know you said earlier you kind of got to know your you can't speak for all men. It depends on that specific man.
You got to know your audience.
So maybe that's it. Maybe that's the answer. Know the man, truly, not what you want him to be.
Yes.
What does he need?
What does he need?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good answer because.
But it's also the opposite because you need to find out what she needs.
Yeah.
You guys need to work together to take care of each other.
Yeah.
Because a 50-50 relationship is bullshit. It's not 50-50. It's a 100-100. But there was that good good example that they gave us way back in the day. Some days his cup is going to be at 10%.
Yeah.
Can she have the 90% to give to him?
Yeah.
Some days his cup's going to be at 90. Can he give her 90? And some days, yeah, it's 50-50, but it's about working together.
And some days both are at 100% and they have an overflow that they can then give to the world.
Bless
because
others,
or it overflows so much their children now have full cups because they're so full.
And there's some days where both of you are going to be low.
Yeah. But then you need to not lash out at each other and make what was 30%, now it's 15%, now it's 10%. Now he's sitting in the car because
he's empty.
He's empty, and she's looking through the window going, oh, so he doesn't love me anymore. Okay, fine. I'm going to get on TikTok and talk to some random dude.
Yep.
And now it's just become a vicious cycle that neither one of them wanted. They're just both hurting.
Absolutely.
What has helped you, just overall, with everything you've just said? What has been the biggest help?
You.
Okay. When I was like, that's probably going to be your answer. But I still wanted to give you the opportunity to say what you wanted.
You've been my biggest help. We've had our issues in the past. Are we perfect? Absolutely not. Nobody is. And to expect a relationship to be perfect is putting too much expectation on a person.
Yeah.
Again, work together. Stand by each other. We were big on that, like, don't complain about your partner to other people, because other people are going to have their own motives.
Yeah.
So when we got that figured out and we just started communicating, hey, this is where I'm hurt, can we work on this? And then, I mean, even with that, we still have our moments where we're like, but it's over stupid stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's over stupid stuff, and we get through it. We still, even in the, how would I say this? In the good times, we set the boundaries for the bad times.
Yeah.
For example, we had long ago, we had that discussion. We do not ever mention divorce.
Mm-hmm.
If divorce is even a thought in one of our minds, then we need to have a discussion. Like, we need to have a long talk because something is wrong.
Absolutely.
We do not go for the it doesn't matter how upset we are. We do not go for the jugular. We do not make little comments like, well, so-and-so would never do that to me.
Right.
We don't make jokes. We know each other's deepest wounds, and we don't even tiptoe near it.
Yeah.
In the past, we would struggle, but even then, we knew not to go for because we knew once we said something, we could never take it back.
Absolutely.
So even, especially now, we had issues in the past, but now that we've grown as much as we have together and separately, we don't even, it's not even in it, like.
Yeah. That's what 18 years will do to you.
Yeah. But I remember even just a couple years ago, I had that big issue with, I would run to the park.
Yeah.
Because in my head, sirens were going off. You hadn't lost your mind yet, but this was going to be the time where you hurt me. But you saw it as another woman leaving.
Yeah.
Where in the moment, I wasn't, like, I knew I'd come back, but you didn't. But we had to communicate that, because to me, I was thinking, if I escape, one, I'm out of your way. Two, I can't get hurt. Where you saw it like, no, stay here and talk to me.
Yeah.
So I know, and also just as the man of the house, if you're here, I know you're safe.
Yeah.
Especially given my mind and the fact that I could age regress.
Yeah.
That was a big, I see it now that I'm, healthier. Yeah. I see it that, like, if you know your wife has this happen in traumatic situations.
Yeah.
And you've just, gotten into a fight, and now she's at the park all by herself, and now she's running through the door hysterical because two boys were following her and she ran home all the way. The next time she runs to the park, you're thinking, I need to find her to make sure she's safe,
Yeah. Because what was the response when you told me you had guys following you?
Oh, you went looking for him. You couldn't find him because
it's probably a good thing.
Yeah, but yeah. But that was big for younger me, because it's like, even in the toxicity of running to the park, it was like I didn't go where you couldn't find me. I went to where I knew if you went to look for me, you'd find me. So it was like, even the running, I ran to what I found as a safe place, because I knew that you knew me well enough that that'd be the first place you looked. I didn't run, to the bar. I didn't run to some location you've never heard of. Yeah. And I sure didn't run to somebody else's house.
Right.
I ran to my safety, so that when things calm down, sure enough, you'd pull up, hey, get in the car, let's fix this. we weren't screaming at each other in the park. It was just, thank you for picking me up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I would get on Snap and I would talk to you and say, hey, I'm having dark thoughts. And you'd say, I'm going to come get you. No, don't come get me. I'm fine.
And I'm already pulling up.
Yeah, you know. Now, of course, you know, that saddens me because, I mean, that wasn't the healthiest for me, but it was like, even in our toxicity, even in our fights, even in our hard times,
nobody was ever in danger.
yeah. And you always showed up, you know.
Yeah.
If you know, you didn't do it nearly like I did, but there were a couple times where you would leave.
Yeah.
And that's what made me stop doing what I would do, is because when you left, it was agony, because it was like, wait, he doesn't do, like, I do it all the time. He doesn't do it.
Yeah.
So is he going to come back? And so it's like, it sounds kind of messed up, but I mean, I can hold myself accountable. I got my shit together.
Yeah.
Because when you came back, you know, I would almost go the opposite extreme, to be honest, because then I would be like groveling at your feet, please love me again, tell me everything's okay, give me a hug. And if you weren't in the right, kind of like you were saying with in the car, sometimes I would grab you, you know, emotionally and go, please don't leave me, don't abandon me.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, you started the fight. What do you mean? You don't get to cry now.
Yeah.
You know? And so I think that might have been when some of your own generational healing had to come in, is because there's a part of you that wants to be like, no, you don't get to have emotions. I get to have emotions. You know, and it's like, you're valid in that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I would start the argument and you'd, you know, take a breather, you'd come back, and then I'm going, but do you still love me? You started the fight.
I never stopped loving you.
Yeah.
Like, there's that one day I walked almost all the way to Elkton.
Yeah.
Like, I got all the way to the tunnel.
Yeah.
And that's far.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I said, you didn't do stuff like that a lot. So for you to do that, it was like, oh, wait, I really hurt him, you know?
Yeah.
But like we said, you didn't walk to the bar, you walked to the tunnel,
Yeah.
and then walked back, you know? You didn't walk into somebody else's arms. You didn't come home drunk. You just got quiet. But unfortunately, quiet for me signifies he hates me,
Yeah.
and is about to leave and abandon me forever.
And that was never, excuse me, that was never it for me, you know. It was never like, I'm just gonna leave. Like, I never had that thought.
Yeah.
I did, you know, just need to, like, think it through, you know.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say when I came back? Like, not, like I said, it was never, I'm just gonna fuck you, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah, you were really mad that day. So looking back, I think it was like you were saying earlier with the, you know, put the baby in the crib. You never wanted to, like, you never punched a hole in a wall.
No.
So that day you were pissed. You know, you had, you know, your volcano was overflowing.
Yeah.
And you did not want your family to witness you in a way that terrified us.
Yeah.
So you walked away. You know, you came back, but you walked away from us, because even me sitting at home like, oh my gosh, I've upset him, feeling sorry for myself, at least I wasn't terrified because you had done something that scared me.
Yeah.
You know, your children, I mean, we were very good at, like, not, they might have seen us kind of going back and forth, but we never acted in a way that terrified them.
Yeah.
It was more of like, even that day, where's daddy? And it was like, oh, he went on a walk. Oh, well, you go on walks all the time. Okay. He'll be back.
Yeah.
You know, but I've seen it, you know, even in my own family where, like, dad didn't come back and it's now nighttime. Wait.
Yeah.
Where's dad? Wait, it's been a week. Where's dad? They never had that. It just, oh, dad's back from his walk. And then you would, even mad at me, you never treated that, you know, your mom's made me mad, now you get a spanking. You know, it was never, oh, dad's pissed me off, you're not eating dinner tonight. It was like, we didn't do that. We don't punish, you know. Even if I was mad at you, it was still like, okay, here's your plate.
Yeah.
You know, enjoy it. You know,
eat because I love you.
Yeah, even walking to the Elkton Tunnel, if your phone had rang and it's me on the other line going, I'm scared there's, you know, something wrong, you would have ran back,
Yeah.
even mad. Fine, I'm mad at you, but I'm still not going to let anything happen to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah.
All right, 2 hours and 11 minutes in. Anything else you'd like to say to the listeners before we finish this episode? We've said a lot.
We've said a lot. Thank you for listening. I hope you get some good out of this as the listener, because this is truly, it's been an honor and a blessing speaking on this. Yeah, I mean, thank you.